This week's episode of News Dump is all about games getting banned, movies being saved, and ComicCon continuing to die. So let's just start off with ComicCon first. Much like E3, ComicCon is going to have to rely more and more on people paying hundreds of dollars to just go to a giant shopping mall, while at the same time maybe getting a chance to get something signed after waiting in line for hours, because companies are once again doing the ComicCon shuffle. A little shell game.
Let's all do the ComicCon shuffle. Where did they go?
They're not here. Anyways, there's some big important studios that are just avoiding this whole mess altogether.
Yeah, it was previously announced that both Warner Bros. And Universal were skipping this year's convention, and this is obviously a huge blow for people who forked over the cash for their passes, their travel, and their lodging.
The most expensive part.
San Diego is not built for this thing, and I don't know how it's managed to continue for so long.
No.
But yeah, a lot of people who were probably hoping to get that Hall H exclusive about the next thing
Joker
from DC,
or, yeah.
It's not going to happen. If you were looking forward to DC showing up in a big way to potentially host panels or show off some footage or do meet and greets or whatever to drum some hype for their upcoming slate, you're not getting it. No Joker, no Wonder Woman 1984, no Birds of Prey, not even a tease of Robert Pattinson as Batman at this year's Comic-Con, thanks to Warner pulling out. The tried and true pull-out method.
Yeah, nothing bad can happen if we pull out.
Works every time, baby. Yeah. Universal, on the other hand, they're not too. That's not too big of a loss because they don't really have anything coming out anytime soon that is specifically geared towards this type of fandom. I mean, they were
Hobbs and Shaw, but that comes out right after Comic-Con anyway, and it's not really.
Their plan was to have a whole Universal Monsters franchise that all the nerds would be super excited about, but as we know,
that fell apart.
Didn't quite work out.
And for good reason. It was a real bad idea.
Yeah.
Anyways, in addition to Warner and Universal skipping out, that's old news. It was announced Friday that Sony will also be skipping this year's convention. Now, this does make some sense considering that new Spider-Man movie is being released prior to the event, but it also means that they won't be showing off anything from movies that would actually make sense there, like Zombieland 2, Jumanji 2, the He-Man movie that's coming out, the new Bad Boys movie, even though that's not really in line with it, it would be exciting. And also the all-new, all-male Ghostbusters movie. They're not even going to please the fans with a little Ghostbusters tease. Anything at all would be nice. But again, just like with E3, it goes without saying that these types of events, they're not even that important for studios anymore, considering that some of them have their own conventions, or the fact that any studio can just put out a trailer or leak some photos or clips or news onto the internet and get just as many eyeballs on them without paying millions of dollars for a spot at Comic-Con.
Yeah.
If you think it's expensive to go, you should see how much fucking money these companies pay for their booths and for their time slots and just for everything that goes on there.
It's expensive.
Yeah.
One positive note, though, for anyone who's still, for whatever reason, going down to San Diego, is Marvel will actually be there this year after taking last year off.
Yeah.
But their absence last year also proves our previous point, because they didn't even go to what was once the biggest event of the year, even though it fell right in between two of their biggest movie releases of all time.
You hate to see the fact that Avengers Endgame tanked so badly because they refused to show up at the biggest fan convention. That'll teach them. That'll teach them.
Yeah. Well, honestly, we wouldn't be surprised at all if these big studios just kept pulling back from events like these, and at the very least, this will please all the Comic-Con purists out there who just want to buy and sell comics, meet the artists and the writers, and buy toys.
Get their action figures.
Get that movie and pop culture bullshit out of my Comic-Con convention.
They're cramping up all the room. They're taking up too much room. I can't even cross the street.
All these fucking normies are ruining my safe space here at the comic convention.
Yes.
Yeah, these conventions, especially San Diego, they've been cramped and stinky, and internet press people are just shoving them out of the way.
Get out of here. Don't you know that I'm internet press?
Movie fanboys showing up, wiping their ass with comic books. But now those comic book purists might actually get to enjoy it a bit more as it hopefully becomes less commercial. Although they'll probably just cancel the whole thing entirely. And then no Comic-Con for anyone.
Well, they've been talking about moving out of San Diego, and they should, but now that,
San Diego, the city of San Diego invested just absurd, ludicrous amount of money into their convention center, which without Comic-Con, that convention center would be in the red every year. They make all of their money off of Comic-Con. That entire section of the city is built around 1 week out of the year where everything turns into fucking madness.
You know what's gonna be happy, or who's going to be happy? The Padres. They'll finally get to play in their stadium again without Nerdist being there the whole entire time.
Yeah.
What do you mean we got to go on the road for 2 weeks?
Every ComicCon, the Padres, they come home and they're like, why does our stadium smell like ass? I mean, we're fucking athletes. We sweat all over this place, and somehow it smells worse after we've been gone for a week, and just these nerds are in here. Rinse up.
I mean, it's not really ironic that Petco Park smells like dog piss, but, you know, they'll take what they can get.
It's a great stadium.
It is. San Diego's a beautiful city. We're not shitting on San Diego.
It is a beautiful city.
Beautiful city. Anyways,
even more beautiful when there aren't 500,000 people within a 5-block square.
Shocking how much nicer it is.
Yeah.
Anyways, one of the movies that we spoke about a second ago that won't have any presence at Comic-Con outside of the hundreds of people cosplaying as characters from it is Ghostbusters. Don't, we'll get struck. Yes, anyways, Sony heard you loud and clear, and they fast-tracked an all-new, all-male Ghostbusters to help you erase their previous release from your very angry, very vocal brains. Although it's not entirely confirmed that it's all male, there might be a lady Ghostbuster still in this. So.
The second they show a woman, I'm walking out. I'm getting a refund.
Well, there's definitely going to be women in it.
No.
Anyways, this latest attempt at bringing Ghostbusters back to a new generation, it's being directed by the original director, Ivan Reitman's son, Jason Reitman. There you go. Seems fair for a good take at Ghostbusters.
He made Juno, a movie about a girl.
Oh, it's rumored to be a continuation of the first two films, and the story will apparently center on, hold on, a single mom and her family.
Boo.
There's already...
Why not a single dad?
There's already been a few casting details. That single mom will be played by Carrie Coon, and her son will be played by Finn Wolfhard from Stranger Things.
Okay, well,
he's already had the costume on before.
I like both those actors very much.
I still think we said it a couple weeks or months ago. I really think that they're just going to make the kids the Ghostbusters. It's like Bill and Ted.
Yeah.
But yeah, people would hate that too, probably. Anyways, it's also being reported that both Bill Murray and Sigourney Weaver will appear in the film. And the latest news that dropped this week, thanks to a video posted over on the official Ghostbusters Twitter account, is that Paul Rudd has officially signed on for a role in the film. The man who doesn't age.
Yeah.
He's probably the Ghost.
Real smart getting him on a franchise.
Yeah.
Marvel knows that. They're going to making Ant-Man movies for the next 30 years.
The man doesn't age. He can play any role for 30 years.
Yeah.
Anyways, it doesn't look like he's going to be one of the Ghostbusters. He's going to be playing a teacher. Maybe that teacher becomes a ghost or a Ghostbuster.
Or a buster.
Anyways, that's pretty much all the info out there right now, but you can definitely expect more news to slowly trickle out since the movie is supposed to come out almost 1 year to the day. It's July 10th, 2020, so like a week and a half from now, 1 year. So not too far off.
Not long.
Yeah.
Anyway, since we sort of touched on a Bill Murray project there for a second, we should probably bring up some information that recently came out thanks to one of his co-stars from the fantastic 1991 comedy, What About Bob?
A real gem. And you should pause this and watch the movie now before we get into this news and then watch it again.
Mild spoilers for What About Bob to follow. If you haven't seen it, it's basically Bill Murray antagonizing Richard Dreyfuss and making him lose his damn mind throughout an entire movie.
Yeah, full I don't even know how long it is, at least 90 minutes, full 90 minutes of just Bill Murray driving him insane.
Bill Murray just driving this poor man literally insane.
He just wanted to go on vacation with his family.
Anyway, apparently when the cameras weren't rolling, Bill Murray was doing his best to get Richard Dreyfuss into character because in a recent interview with Yahoo, Dreyfuss told some stories about Murray being a total fucking asshole and driving him nuts.
In real life. Dreyfuss says that Murray was, quote, an Irish drunken bully, and, quote, he came back from dinner, walked in, and I said, read this, I think it's really funny. And he put his face next to me, nose to nose, and he screamed at the top of his lungs, everyone hates you, you are tolerated. Rough. And also that Murray then grabbed a heavy ashtray and threw it at his face.
Okay, well
that's a bit much.
That's a lot.
Yeah. So yeah, for all the fun, good-hearted stories out there about Bill Murray, this one kind of sucks. Richard Dreyfuss is a goddamn legend. Not that it would make it any more acceptable if it was some no-name actor, but still, he was in Jaws, damn it. Show the man some respect.
Richard Dreyfuss has a bit of his own reputation
absolutely,
as kind of a cranky asshole, so I don't know.
Maybe this all just worked to make the best, most underrated comedy of 1991, because it is a gem.
It really comes across on screen.
That's when I first read the story, I was like, oh my God, yeah, he wasn't acting. And guarantee, like Bill Murray in his role, playing that role, was doing it better than he probably could have, just to piss him off even more.
Yeah.
Anyways, go watch What About Bob now if you haven't seen it. But at this point, you'll probably sympathize a hell of a lot more with Dr. Leo Marvin's character if you didn't already. I'm probably gonna rewatch it this weekend.
I mean, Bill Murray is like a certified like alcoholic.
Oh, absolutely.
If you look at his like divorce papers, like he doesn't come across very well.
Well,
it's like textbook alcoholism.
Half of his like fun stories about people meeting him are him just like buying shots for everyone at the bar. He's been at South by Southwest numerous times, just like pouring tequila into people's mouths and stuff. He's a party animal. And you can't put a party animal in a cage.
And probably my favorite role of his in what was it?
Zombieland?
Well, Scrooged.
Oh yeah.
He plays that quite well. Plays a really good smug fucking asshole.
Yeah.
And so you got to think maybe some truth to it.
Hey, well, if you're getting drunk with him, it's probably fun. But if you're the one staying back working on the script tirelessly to get your jokes in, he's not going to come back happy.
Hey man, method acting, gets a little dirty in there.
Why don't you leave the comedy to comedians?
Anyways, now on to helping out smaller movies. AMC Theaters is launching a new program to highlight smaller yet quality films that sometimes have trouble gaining traction in the box office, as the majority of moviegoers opt to see whatever gigantic cartoon, superhero, or franchise movie is playing instead. The program's called AMC Artisan Films. Free-range artisanal films down at the AMC. And they say, quote, "This programming approach will let interested moviegoers know where to look for upcoming acclaimed and thought-provoking films, and it'll provide consistent and convenient showtimes."
Cool. Well, they add that any movie with the AMC Artisan Films seal will show expertise in writing, directing, acting, and or one of the many component parts that make up a movie. It is an artist-driven, thought-provoking movie that advances the art of filmmaking. And their plan for how they're actually going to potentially make this successful outside of just putting a seal of approval on it, it seems to be that they'll be going after earlier release dates for some of these films, so getting them into their theaters earlier than you could normally see them, as well as giving them a longer run in the theater so that people will still be able to see movies like this after word of mouth starts spreading, because that oftentimes happens like right at the end of its run in the theater or afterwards anyway. So that's cool. I mean, honestly, this is just AMC's way of saying, damn it, we can't keep counting on these blockbusters to perform. 90% of them suck. Fuck Men in Black, goddamn Men in Black 4, whatever
Waste my time 2020.
Yeah, how can we convince people to spend more money with us when there's actual decent movies playing instead of all the crap they're being fed? And as long as that results in more people seeing more good movies, that's fine.
I was impressed. They bought up the Sunset 5 Theater in West Hollywood, which has historically been like an art house indie theater. I was really worried they were going to fucking ruin it, but they've actually taken very good care of it and created a very comfortable, artisanal, free-range movie-going experience where you can see a lot of good indie films. So
Farm-raised.
Yeah.
Farm-raised films.
Grain-fed. Moving over to gaming news.
What's up, gamers?
As the inevitable Iran war moves closer and closer towards being an actual possibility, not only will Jacob Wohl be forced to enlist and die for his country, but he'll be fighting a greater foe than he could ever expect. Gamers.
Yes.
Yep, gamers over in Iran and Syria are probably pretty goddamn pissed off at the US government right now because we just inadvertently took away their access to one of the most popular games in the world, League of Legends. Players from Iran and Syria who attempt to log on and play their favorite MOBA are instead greeted with a message prompt that states, "Due to US laws and regulations, players in your country cannot access League of Legends at this time. Such restrictions are subject to change by the US government, so if and when that happens, we look forward to having you back on the Rift."
Yeah.
Wow. So we finally did it. We fucked up bad enough that we pissed off gamers in a country we are not, a country that we are potentially, but hopefully not going to war with, but it's going to happen. And all these angry gamers, they're going to
be the ones that rise up.
They're going to take the tactical problem-solving skills they learned in the game, and they're going to go out into the real world, and they're going to kick our fucking ass on the battlefield.
Yeah.
And then we'll know that targeting gamers, you don't want to do it.
They're going to start having those, like they have them in the United States, the advertisements, the commercials for the military that are like, "Are you a gamer?" And it's like them like with drones and shit like that. Iran's gonna have that probably pretty soon too. They're like, "Hey, how many times did you capture the Nexus or whatever the fucking League of Legends is? You want to put those skills to use against Uncle Sam?"
I think they might have mandatory military service,
so
no need.
Well, no, they gotta market it, so it gotta be cool. Gotta be cool about it. Anyways, for trailers we can't show you, there's a Charlie's Angels trailer. Cool. There's the final trailer for Hobbs and Shaw, which I, again, refuse to watch. I saw the one. I'm in. Refuse to watch it.
Don't need to see anymore.
And also a trailer for Midway, which is, it could go either way. It's Patrick Wilson, and it's the Battle of Midway, but it's from the director of Independence Day. So a lot of
Roland Emmerich,
a lot of planes fighting, and the CGI not the best, but you know there could be a good movie there. I'm interested.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also, once again this week, we recorded a new exclusive podcast for the people that give us money here on YouTube or on Patreon.
Yes.
So go check it out on Patreon or click the community tab here on YouTube.
There's links in the description below, or you can click the join button under the video, and you'll get access to all of the exclusive podcasts.
And watch our other videos over there.
Oh yeah, we did a video about how the meme economy is real. Stonks are going up, and also a brand new episode of Tech News Day. Check both of those out. We'll see you very soon for Weekly Weird News. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.